Do you find it's challenging to get employees to complete mandatory compliance type training? Or do you find that you can create great training programs and employees just don't seem motivated to fully participate? I'm exploring the difference between what organizations provide and what employees want. Today, I'm looking at the fact that organizations provide training while employees want learning. What's the difference? Training is all about, in my mind, is all about creating courses and programs for others. It's externally driven. It's about sharing information, and oftentimes, though not always, it's an event. So it could be a single course or even a longer term curriculum, but it's kind of time bound. Whereas learning is individual, it's internal. It's about an employee or an individual broadening their understanding. It's about making meaning, learning something and making meaning and personalizing it for themselves. And it's taking ownership for their own journey, their own development. Here's a story to maybe bring it to life in terms of the contrast that I see. My sister homeschooled my niece and nephew, who were grades 1 and 2 at the beginning of the pandemic. And she did a very extensive unit on the body, organs, digestive system, all of that. And this year for Christmas, I found a fabulous 3D anatomy doll. So you could take out the ribs and the organs and everything. So I gave it to them thinking she might expand on that unit and come back at it again, which would be an example of training. It's her providing the opportunity to learn to her children. The kids pulled it out on their own and they said, let's pretend we're scientists and we have to shrink down human bodies to learn and study them. And after a little bit of time of doing that, my nephew said to my sister, Mama, I learned something. Our big intestines are attached to our small intestines. And I would say that the kids pulling it out and that insight that my nephew had is an example of learning. So it was self-directed. It wasn't structured other than they had this resource that they could learn from. And so as organizations and learning and development professionals, we need to find ways to promote employee-centric learning instead of just providing training. I think it's a little bit like a gift box that we provide to our employees, and that the employee ultimately needs to open that gift box and decide to see what's inside.